about to say good morning. How y'all doing? Welcome to So What You Hear. I'm Jay.
I'm Tiffany.
I'm Craig.
Today we're going to talk about the Browns signing Kareem Hunt back after just letting him go, a couple months ago?
Yeah. I think he'll fit right back in because he knows the playbook. There's not going to be too much issues of getting him caught up. But I also wonder, will we still have the same problems that led to Chubb got hurt because of what Steelers defense was just that good?
I mean, it was kind of just a running play, and he went down.
He went down. I mean, he was doing it. Remember?
But Kareem Hunt was a better receiving back than Nick Chubb. And with Deshaun Watson, that might help some of that.
Alleviate that pressure of him.
Because, okay, we're going deep. Him being able to kind of just swing out and take small things big might actually add an element they didn't have before.
Yeah, I agree. But you also can't count out Ford and Strong. I think they're going to be good complement.
I think they are going to be good complement backs. I think you're going to see a lot of Strong down at the goal line, order like they had been. And I think Ford's going to kind of just fit in there. Like there's a reason why they let Kareem Hunt go when they got Ford, because they thought he was going to do something. It's just,
And once he started Ford, I think it took him a little while to get going. And once I think if Chubb didn't get hurt, I think Browns would have won that game. I really do. They were starting to just go. I know he was in my fantasy running back, so trust me, I know.
Yeah, they were starting to really roll.
They started kicking. They were melding really well together, and then it took a while they were scared to run at all. It took them a while to even trust Ford to run the ball.
The first couple of runs, he was missing holes, and
but they kept throw pass, and the defense know you're not gonna run. And all right, well then this guy, I'm saying,
Yeah, we're gonna have to just cover him, and our pass rusher is just gonna.
And that's what was happening. It wasn't until Ford started running again they even made it a game again. Honestly,
Yeah, seriously.
But.
I mean, do you think with what they showed, do you think it's going to be more of a 50-50 split with Ford than what they were doing with Chubb and him? Or do you think it's going to be Kareem Hunt's going to do what Nick Chubb did, and then every once in a while you'll see Ford sprinkled in?
I think it depends. I think it all depends. I think if they go in and Ford gets in there and he's hanging with, Hunt, when he gets the ball as a first down or very close to it, then they probably trust both of them more. But if it does take him a while to get started, then you're gonna have Hunt. Hunt.
Hunt does know the playbook, but nothing can really get you ready to play football other than playing. He hasn't been on a team.
Yeah.
So it might take a quarter or two for Kareem Hunt to really get
himself
moving.
Yeah. So they might need Ford to kind of step in early,
almost take over as dominant back until he gets football. I mean, why did everybody talked about week 1 didn't look good? Well, most of those players hadn't played all preseason. It takes playing football to get ready to play football.
Do you think bringing Kareem Hunt back in makes this team a playoff team though?
We'll have to see how Hunt and Ford, we haven't seen Kareem Hunt as the feature back in a long time. And sometimes, when they throw him in, he's not what he used to look like. Well, yeah, but sometimes you need, as a running back, you got to learn who's playing over aggressive, who's watching this. Okay, now I got the flow of the game. Go.
He also doesn't have that much miles on him because of the fact he's been a backup.
That is very true. And he's been out of, off a team for almost, half a year now, right?
Something like that.
So, yeah, he could have a little less bangs up. He's probably not going to be sore.
Cleveland team I think they look pretty good.
I think we're starting to see more of what we thought we'd get. I think that offense needs a little bit more play time and continuity.
As long as they don't keep calling him, as long as Deshaun doesn't keep face masking defenders as he's.
He was petty. I'm
sorry. But that first one, his finger got caught. The second one, it looked like it was more so.
He manhandled him. That's embarrassing. To be just.
I think we've also forgotten about that part of his game too.
He's hard.
Yeah.
And they're not used to a quarterback being that aggressive.
Yeah.
He didn't know what to do. He needed.
He looked like it was no. He was no. He was like
like that. Who was the defender? I can't remember, but like he did. He looked so.
Oh, it was
pitiful.
demoralizing.
Like,
it was demoralizing.
He like almost like don't even call it. No, I'm good.
It was Quan Alexander the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quan Alexander the first one.
Like don't even call it. I'm good because no one wants to be.
It's like personal foul on a tackle from a kicker. Like, don't call that. Don't call that.
Like no, I'm good. Like.
Well, that was an unnecessary rough. No, it was a kicker. You can't do that.
Like to watch it, I don't know. It felt like like, he was so aggressive. Like that's what football's supposed to be. Like that's football.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think they look better the first 2 weeks of this season than they did the last 2 weeks of last season.
Okay, yeah. I think that's night and day.
It was like that goes
That's
no, but I mean, I think that shows progression, though. So that shows that by the end of this season, what are they going to... Because they were starting to look better by the end of the season. It still didn't look great. He still looked
they always brown it up,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, here we are, they just... And,
they were gritty.
They still lost, but I felt like it took a little bit, but once they kind of like... No, this game isn't over yet.
But I also think all 4 teams are still have a running in the division because no one's selected the clear-cut best team.
No.
So, we'll see what happens throughout the season with the Browns.
All right. So our next thing was the Justin Feilds.
Yeah.
Comment.
I don't know who has heard that interview yet, but Justin Feilds basically said the offense sucks because of the coaching. It was just basically that blatant too.
Well, I don't feel like it was aggressive though. It was very like, I mean, he just lost again, so he was all like, sad about it. But
y'all watched that game on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
He was missing wide open people.
He did not look like himself though. He did not look like he did game because they lost game 1, but I didn't feel like it's because of him. Kind of like I feel like he was moving. He was doing what he needed to do, for the most part. It's just things weren't going exactly like you would want it to go. Does that make sense? Like, he's getting out of this, he's moving over, Game 2, it just, like, he wasn't even sure what he was supposed to do. Like, they looked
You remember
so
when
clueless.
Romo said he needed to learn to be a better pocket passer? And he said he was going to sit in the pocket like Brady. He'd been studying tape of Brady. And by like play 4, he got hit he had already been hit like 3 times.
And next thing you know, he's running.
And so now he's like running out of the pocket. And he ended up playing better.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I saw. I saw a team that said, Justin Fields, we need you to be a pocket passer. And that's not what he does. Ben Roethlisberger was not good when they had him just drop back passing. When he was roll out, extending plays, backyard football, hey, let's get this open. That was when Ben Roethlisberger was a Hall of Famer.
And you need a line to stay in the pocket.
So bad.
How are you gonna stay in the pocket if there's no longer a pocket? Like you're running for your life, but you're supposed to just stand there. Like, no, like.
I think overall, the whole team's in shambles. I don't think at any level do they look.
Defense is alright.
Well, also their DC decided to step down. How much can he really be? Even though it's health concerns, how much can that team really be cohesive if you got your defensive coordinator by week 3?
Yeah.
No, that's true.
Like
so what do you think's more hurtful to the chemistry? Justin Fields throwing the coaching staff under
Alan Williams leaving? Yeah.
I think it all stems from Eberflus. I think if he doesn't have control of the team, you're going to see it in every facet. Your defensive coordinator is gone. Your quarterback cannot get it flowing. He's saying it's coaching.
It's coaching.
So that means you can look at it 2 ways, but obviously it starts with the coach. If your coach does not have a handle on it, you're gonna see it crumble at every facet. We see it happen all the time with new coaches. And right now, I just think we haven't seen the Chicago Bears be good since they had Lovie Smith, and that was back probably when he took them to Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that,
they destroyed
the Chicago Bears just have not been. They are not good at getting quality talent in there to run their team.
Yeah. Okay. I definitely.
Yeah.
I can agree on that.
So, truthfully, it could just be a franchise thing.
Now, one of the commentators was like, they felt like he was taking the blame off himself, like Zach Wilson did. Like I did everything great. it's the coaches, and I didn't feel like I don't think that's how he did it. I don't think it was him like, oh, I'm perfect. It's their direction that's the problem. I feel like he was being honest. Like, they want me to play a certain way, and I can't play that way. I gotta just.
If Tom Brady got to Tampa and they started making him run RPOs and they sucked, would we have said Tom Brady was trash, or we would have been like, what moron is trying to get Tom Brady to run RPOs?
Yeah, so what moron trying to get him to run RPOs?
So, what moron is trying to get Justin Fields to play?
Fields.
Justin Fields. We need Justin Fields to run that pocket. But, I mean, yeah. You gonna tell Michael Vick, okay, no more running. We just want you to throw the ball.
Well, we saw what that looked like early on.
Actually, he did it a lot more in Philly.
He did a lot more.
He pocket passed a lot in Philly.
Just because he was better at reading.
Yeah, I mean, he's older, a little more veteran.
Mm-hmm. In the beginning, we saw what it was.
Well, yeah, it didn't go well.
Yeah.
I mean,
but Fearless Price, Algie Crumpler, I got names.
Okay, just because you know their name doesn't make them good.
I mean, they made it to NFL.
Okay, yeah, but we're talking about NFL standards. We're not talking about, like, yes, obviously the practice squad guy is better than the average American, but, like, that's not what you're paid for.
I just named names. I'm not the... You said, well, you throw it.
You said who, and I
You
told
said
you.
who. Y'all are right. I can't really complain.
You can't change the rules. All right, what do you want to talk about next?
The Doomsday Patrol. 0-2 teams.
Yeah. Were they any? As a few of them, I don't think they were who you thought was going to be. Like, you thought the Chargers were going to be good this year.
Hang on. We also said the Chargers are going to do what they do best and be the Chargers.
The Chargers don't do
I
it.
think
See,
I
this
said
is
they were
new
gonna do
chargering
the
for the Chargers. The Chargers usually don't charger until the playoffs. They don't start the year just garbage.
Well, they mid-charge it.
0-2. There's, what, 3 teams in history that have won a Super Bowl?
Oh, you just want to bring up the Giants?
Pittsburgh is the first one. I wasn't just bringing up the Giants. I think the Patriots did it one year.
I feel like he was trying to bring.
I was not trying to bring up the Giants. I don't want to bring up the Giants. I don't.
Well, at least you're not on this list.
I'm not. At least I'm not on the. You know that the NFC East is the only, if I'm not mistaken, it's the only division in all of football that doesn't have an OT2.
See, I don't have one team with a loss, but I mean, can't have everything.
Yes.
It's a division game. Somebody
these
got
0-2 teams. We have the Vikings, Chargers, Patriots, Broncos, Panthers, Texans, Bears, and Cardinals.
in the card. Yep. And so, go ahead.
I think out of that, it's hard to say because, like, obviously the Texans are bad, the Panthers are bad, but I feel like you got rookie coaches, rookie quarterbacks, a lot of very young things. They're going to be kind of bad. It's going to take them the Bears and the Panthers. It's going to take them half a season at least to get them acclimated to the league.
I think the Panthers show sparks.
Panthers and
I didn't say Bears.
You said Bears.
I said
You
Panthers
did
and
say
Texans.
Bears.
Oh, I said Bears. Ooh, I didn't do. I meant to say Panthers, Texans. Yeah, Bears is bombs. There's
because like the Panthers, I feel like show sparks
yes.
and like
You saw last week that they were kind of
They were him and Adam Thielen starting to get. I'm seeing Bryce Young start to kind of like okay and put things. So
when things go bad,
give them some time. They're gonna need an off season. That offensive line is
the Texans.
But again, rookie head coach, rookie quarterback.
Ooh, but CJ Stroud did put together at the end of that game. Remember, he thought
yes,
the Texans almost came back.
They did almost come back.
Like he had them actually looking a little bit competitive.
Yeah.
So again, but I mean, you got all that youth. It's going to take some time for that to go. I wouldn't hit panic mode on that. We'll see. If they're 0-4, 0-5, then okay, then maybe you start to like.
But let's be real, we weren't expecting them to be great anyway.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
The Cardinals, I feel like we were, flat out. The Cardinals are tanking for Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
And I see a team that's fighting.
They're
not winning.
Yeah, like Washington had to
they had to fight.
It was
Washington
raining
had
and
to
ugly,
fight.
but still they were both. They were
Y'all
still
had
in the
to fight.
game.
We had to fight.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to put up 30. I mean, now we did put up 31 unanswered points and a half, which is just not a good look. But I mean,
I've seen that
gave up
happen to other teams. Yeah,
unanswered
exactly.
points in the first.
And that happens. Sometimes you get cozy with the lead. You just try to maintain the lead, not trying to add to it.
Momentum's a thing, and
Yeah.
sometimes those massive leagues too early, it does start to drop the
like
adrenaline on your team, and and then when you get that quicksand effect. Oh man, bad step. Oh man, penalty. Oh man,
and now
they
the
just
momentum's
scored.
going the other
Oh
way.
no, and then boom.
Yeah.
But I think they could probably, get some more experience, get some more continuity, retool in the offseason. I think they actually have some promise for the future.
The Patriots, I think, they're like right there. Like, because Philly is a good team. I'm a Cowboys fan, so the Phillies is a good team. So, like, for them to get that close, knowing people didn't think, like, they thought Philly was just going to run through and
We were wondering why you would do Tom Brady's celebration against Philly. Like, y'all are gonna get
and that's not what happened.
That's
they
not
end up seconds. They end up like they could have gotten together at that very last drive. They could have won, like, seriously twice, and then they didn't have a chance twice, and they just like ugh.
Yeah.
And then help me out.
We play
Miami, which is
another
they
very
look
good team.
great.
That's not even
they
supposed
look
to be.
And then even then, they started giving them a little bit of the work, and at the very end, it just didn't have enough gas. But they looked better at the very end of that game than they did at the Phillies game.
But you're starting to see that they've been able to make adjustments and be a better second half team. But the question is, what's going on in that first half?
I don't know. I can't tell with Matt Jones. He always seems
It takes him way
confused
too long
in the
to get
beginning.
going.
Yeah, and then once like I said, and then I feel like when you need him the most, he looks like a scared child. Like, I'm not even he looks almost terrified. You have to have some confidence. I feel like you're the leader of your offense, and if you don't look sure, who is gonna look sure? You know what I'm saying? He looked a little bit more comfortable. I think the Miami game than he did
If
Philly.
they lose to the Jets this weekend,
Well, Jets need this win, so that might be a really tough fought game.
Either way, one of them is going to. If the
I
Patriots
need
go
0-3.
0-3,
They go 0-3.
Belichick
Bailey
might
Zappi
be-
will be in.
okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's
Bailey
what
Zappi will be playing if they go
At least
0-3.
to see.
Especially if they just can't do anything against.
And
The
how
Jets
much
team.
longer do you think Sean Payton's going to be in these Broncos?
I think the Broncos
I
look better
think
than they did
yeah.
last year.
Russell Wilson is the starting quarterback. How much longer do you think Sean Payton's going to deal with that?
He looks better than he did last year.
If this team does not keep making progress, I think they find another quarterback at the end of the year. But I am starting to see continuity on a level that was nowhere near last year.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think it's Nathaniel Hackett because we also see if he doesn't have Aaron Rodgers doing his playbook, Zach Wilson still looks confused out there.
That is true.
So we went back to.
No, I'm just saying.
Because Nathaniel Hackett was
okay.
He was
Okay.
the Broncos head coach.
I got you, because I'm like, now I'm confused.
So,
I'm with Zach right now.
Yeah,
My bad.
but yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, I would be worried for Russell Wilson if they lose the next two games. If they start 0-4,
Yeah.
Sean Payton's gonna be like,
Well,
okay.
you can, but I don't really feel like it's Russ that's the problem.
He's
That
supposed to be the
team
leader.
looks really disorganized. And I feel like Sean Payton's kind of starting to tune it up, but
And like I think they
They just got Judy back too, so you gotta get the offense. They got let the offense flow. I think by 6 games in, we'll see what's gonna happen.
I think once the gas started going, the game
I
was
think they
over.
can,
I think they started too late to get things, and can you carry that on next week? Because if you got to
They
start
lost 2
all,
home
that's what I'm
games.
saying. You got to
Their
start off.
first 2 games are home games. They
Yeah.
lost at home, so now they're going on the road.
Sometimes people do better.
That's true.
away.
That's
Like,
true.
I don't know
that is
why,
there
but
was
that-
a year that I don't think we won a single home game,
Mm.
and I think we won a Super Bowl.
I think Romo used to do better away than home.
We were like
I could be
one
wrong,
in,
but I think
we were like
Romo
1
used
in
to do
7
better
or something
away.
like that at home. And
I-
then the playoffs, we were a wild card, so we played on the road the whole way.
Okay.
We beat everybody.
I don't know. You turn those boots.
The one team doesn't seem like I'm too worried about right now. I wouldn't be worried about the Vikings. As 0-2.
I'm going to be worried about the fact that Kirk Cousins has the second most passing yards in the league. They're one of the top 5
And
most
they
efficient
look worried
offenses
to
in the
me.
league.
You don't think
And they
look
can't put a
worried?
win together. That defense is historically terrible.
Yeah, and then I think even Cousins is starting to look a little. He was a Redskins, and he's starting to look a little like what he just.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Justin
think
Jefferson's starting to look like
he's
he's getting
like I'm
frustrated.
doing everything.
Yeah,
And but the thing is, it's not like he's not throwing the ball. But also, that offense turned the ball over 3 times. They had that game.
Yeah.
Those three turnovers is
Yeah.
the reason why they lost.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, you're gonna start bitching at Justin Jefferson, like that doesn't really happen. But
but
I think they're trying to figure out what's wrong with him.
Well, he owned up to it because he did definitely own it. That was on.
But I mean, like I think the problem is, I think wherever Kirk Cousins is, no matter what the problem is, it's easier to just go, well, common denominator. Like, well, we know that Washington had a historically bad and disorganized team with the city almost had a block party to celebrate the fact that he's not the owner no more.
Yeah, I mean, and then he was
everything's changed.
Everything. So you're not. I mean, you cannot judge him you can't judge anybody that played for Washington.
He needs a line.
And then you get to Minnesota. I mean, oh my God, you watch quarterback on Netflix.
Line,
he sounded like he was turning into a werewolf with the grunts. Because every play, he's getting up off the ground.
Yeah,
he is getting murdered.
And they went 13-4.
Yeah.
On the third.
And I mean, we're still watching him get. Because even the play where they get on him when he lost us in the playoffs, he had Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, and I think another person. I can't remember who the third person was. Directly in his face.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
If he doesn't throw that check down, it's going to be an off balance hit as he threw, wobbly throw to triple cover Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. That's true. Out of all those teams, though, do y'all think
13-4 last year?
13-4?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think any coach is at risk?
Oh, we didn't get to the team I think has one of the most at risk.
I thought we talked about it first.
You skipped the leg.
I thought we talked about when we first began to say it.
We talked about the Chargers?
You said the Chargers going to be charging up, mid-charge, so on, all that.
Oh, yeah.
We
said we're not used to them being 0-2. We're like, well, the Chargers will Charger. This ain't Charger. This is just trash.
They do look bad. I can't eat.
Who did lose to week 1?
With
Oh my gosh, my brain just played.
just
I'm gonna Google it, but yeah, my brain.
My brain blanked.
It just
Because it's some. I want to say week 1 was a good game, but it was this weekend that it was like, really, y'all lost again. And I think this says more about Kellen Moore not being the problem over Dak more and Dallas.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, with the defense playing the way it is a little easier on him this year, but that offense is a lot more effective than it was last year. And the Chargers offense just doesn't look like he can put together, other than splash plays here and there, it just cannot put together like a drive. And this is starting to look like a Kellen Moore thing. Like, that's what he does. I'm going to get you to throw it downfield a bunch of times. Hopefully we'll hit 2 or 3 of the big ones and eventually end up in the end zone. Other than that, who cares if we have no continuity?
Yeah.
I feel bad for Justin Herbert.
I feel bad for Justin Herbert because that is a really talented kid.
And he just signed a big extension, so he's there for at least the next 5 years.
And he is definitely going to be the next Phillip Rivers.
It's not short.
Now, I did hear somebody say, I want to say it was Stephen A. Smith, I think, that was saying, I don't consider Justin Herbert and Phillip Rivers the same because so far, I don't feel like Justin Herbert has been the reason the Chargers blow these leads, blow these big plays and stuff like that. Whereas, like, you can definitely go to major games throughout Phillip Rivers' career. And yeah, there's some where the defense did this or fluke play, but there's a very good number of big time, okay, you're the star quarterback, do this. And Phillip Rivers is the guy that you're like, yeah, you drop the ball.
Yeah.
But it don't matter, you're still the quarterback. They're going to just keep saying you lost. That's all they're going to register.
True.
Just gotta keep talking.
Why are you having such trouble finding it?
Because it keeps trying to take me. You see what it's doing? But don't stare at me.
You could have just put an LA Chargers schedule.
I did that, and it's don't.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's not. Now y'all got me like. Now I'm smiling. Keep talking.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're sorry for the silence. You know, our researcher sucks.
Yeah, it's hard to research and talk. Okay.
Well, it's even harder to research when your phone's with your camera and all. Oh my God.
Was it the Dolphins?
Oh, y'all.
Yes.
They played the Dolphins week 1. They played y'all week 2. That's what it is.
They're gonna lose to the Dolphins. Dolphins.
Well,
That was
yeah,
a shootout.
well, we
That
didn't.
was a
Yeah, we
shootout.
didn't know that
They
the
made
Dolphins
them
were
look
the
like
Dolphins.
children. I'm mad. I had to look that up. I actually
Dolphins.
knew that.
But the Tennessee game
now I'm
is where I'm a
embarrassed
little more
because I
like,
knew that.
because like, not that I don't feel like Tennessee's a good team, but you can kind of like shrug off the Dolphins' loss. It's first game of the season. Clearly, Miami's going to be one of the better teams. We're just going to have to clean up some stuff before we play them in the playoffs. You lose to Tennessee, and there ain't no way in hell you got to clean up enough to beat Miami. Because Tennessee is definitely an early round playoff team.
I will say they also are without Austin Eckler, and they really go when he really makes them go.
Yeah,
he is the engine for that offense. Like if he's catching the ball out the backfield, running through the tackles, and Josh Kelly he did okay, but he doesn't give him the energy that Austin Eckler did. So you definitely saw them missing him.
Yeah.
And then Titans defense was actually pretty decent last week.
Well, I mean, that was one of your Vrabel make sure that defense is stout.
So,
So I got a question. Which coach do you think is in trouble after this 0-2? Like out of the list of the 0-2 teams,
I'm going to have to put explanations with some of mine. Because
Okay.
there are teams that y'all are going to be like, but I don't feel like they're in that bad of a shape. But they're in a different situation.
Okay.
So, Brandon Staley is in trouble.
Oh, he's been there for the second and third season.
Yeah, this is
And
not
like
the first season.
bad.
And then you blow up. Wasn't it the biggest lead blown in a playoff game?
Oh, yeah, to the Jaguars last
To the
year.
Jags last year? Like, you don't set a record like that and then come in and go 0-2 and think that your job
Think
is
you're
safe.
good.
No.
Yeah.
Same with McConnell.
You also do not, McConnell's definitely, again, like, you don't go to the playoffs, have a bad loss, and then start 0-2 and think you're safe. You also don't win 7 rings, turn your franchise into the most winning franchise in history to the point where anything short of a Super Bowl is a failure for your team.
Push to get rid of that.
Push to get rid of your Hall of Fame quarterback.
He gets the Super Bowl on another team.
Gets a Super Bowl on another team.
And now here
Not
you
have
are.
a winning season or a real productive season since
He
then.
left, and now you're on.
And now you're 0-2. That's not going to rock.
They went to the playoffs the first year without him.
That's not. And they looked bad in that
That's
first year.
more
They
like
got
everyone
busted
else looked
up.
bad.
Yeah.
More than they look good.
It's not it's not the same.
I think
Dallas
it's
goes to the playoffs all the time. And then we still say Dallas is a failure because you have 5 rings. Anything short of a Super Bowl is not there. That's what happens when you're an elite franchise. Anything short of a Super Bowl is not good. Belichick is the reason they're in that realm. And now you're having to answer the bell for, okay, Tom's not here.
Now
How long are we supposed to just let you suck?
What did you about to say? You was about to say something.
I don't know. You're fine.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for that one.
I mean, like I said, they play 2 really good teams, but if you want to be the best,
Exactly.
you got to play the best,
I only think 3.
and you have to beat the best.
I only think 3: Vikings, Chargers, and Patriots coaches. Everybody else is either first year or they're still they have rookie quarterbacks. So, but
I mean, Chicago, they got people quitting and resigning.
I know.
That's never good. Usually, who's next after that? Like, once people start leaving and people start getting fired, if you're still losing, the head coach is next. Because it's going to be your quarterback or it's going to be the coach.
well,
And then we got to figure out who's the problem.
I do think we do we not remember? Carolina was not the worst record in sports. That's not how they got the first pick. They had to trade down with the Bears. So the Bears finished last season as the worst team in football.
Yeah.
And now you're 0-2.
I mean, look, not for long. League,
Like,
come on, man.
when people start leaving and
Yeah.
quitting and
So,
getting
I will put the Bears in the second tier because I just don't feel like there was many expectations for them anyway.
But it's the
But-
same thing. There's still I mean, there's no Aaron Rodgers anymore. Like you're gonna do it. This
You
is
gotta
your
do it
chance
now.
to do it. Like
Because if you let Detroit get another season or 2 of accruing talent and cultivation, it's about to be their division.
Yeah,
They're gonna lock that up.
Still lost to Green Bay, and there's no Rodgers, so there's
I still
no.
didn't think Jordan Love looked that great.
It takes him a little bit to get cooking.
I mean, I think on some fronts I am very much comparing him to Rodgers because, and it's not fair to him, but when you do all that to get rid of a quarterback, you better
You gotta
have
have
this
the
quarterback
next-
play
yeah.
just as well
Yeah.
as the guy you
Like
pushed out.
when I feel like, because when Brett Favre left, Rodgers
Just came in and
Right.
started being Rodgers. Like,
Yeah,
oh
so-
wow, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dak came in and started throwing passes, and people went, "Oh,
Okay.
this is the new guy." You can't come in and say, "Oh, he's okay." Like that. No.
So then, who's your best team? Who do you think the best team in the league is?
This is gonna be difficult.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you have this because it's one of the years where like I feel like y'all can be
San
like-
Francisco 49ers.
The San Francisco Niners look great. They do. They look
But-
great.
I'd be remiss not to mention Dallas Cowboys and them are
But they didn't beat
one
nobody
A, a
40-0.
1A,
San
1B.
Francisco has looked like they have struggled to get the ball deep. They hasn't really stopped them from winning because of the short game and the running game and the defense and everything. But I have not seen them be able to put the ball deep.
But they've
Dallas
never
is-
been a deep throwing team.
But if you want to beat Dallas,
You won't have to be.
you're gonna have to get out of a 3rd and 12 at times.
Now Dallas
And if
had
you
to go
can't
for
put the
field
ball
goals.
20 yards downfield, you're not gonna beat them.
Dallas had to keep. They had to keep getting field goals, and then like there's the end zone. Can we get in the end zone? I mean, you got a defense that's giving you the ball back, so like they don't have that pressure.
Does that worry you? You guys think
A little bit. I mean, I want to score. Like, I mean, I'd rather have 3 than nothing. I do. I'd rather have 3 than nothing.
Yeah.
But if your defense are having a bad game,
But
They
the,
could
but, but the
beat
Jets
you.
defense is not horrible. So you
But
gotta
we're
also
talking
That
best
was a
team
good
in the league.
defense.
Yeah,
That
so
is
your
true.
Jets
That
defense-
is true.
Jets
That is-
defense is
that-
not horrible.
that
so
is very
so them
true.
holding you to 3 is based off of the fact that they
Okay,
have
that's
the
true.
defense.
That is true.
But what are you gonna do when, like, because like we said, we're talking best team in the league. Okay, so it wouldn't be until the Super Bowl you got to worry about it, full fledged. Baltimore or Miami's got a good defense, very good defense.
I mean,
And
Jets
Jalen
has
Ramsey should be back by then.
but the Jets has one of the best defenses.
But the Jets' offense is not Miami's. Are you going to be able to keep kicking 3 with Miami's offense? You don't think Miami might be able to put some touchdowns up even on y'all defense?
I don't know. I think Micah can't handle Tua. I messed his name up on purpose. I should say that out loud before.
You saw how mad he got at Ryan Clark for saying he was fat. You better watch that out.
He's adorable, and he knows that. So,
But yeah, I might. I'm gonna say it's either Miami or Dallas. I like San Francisco, but until I see that offense make 3rd level moves, I can't. I think they're gonna struggle against some of the better teams. Because that's kind of why they lost to Philly. Because after Purdy went down, they couldn't put the ball more than 5 yards, 10 yards downfield.
Because they didn't have a quarterback on the roster who
why
could throw the ball.
Purdy used Kittle.
Well, if Purdy can't put the ball more than 5 to 10 yards down the field, then it doesn't matter if it's him or not.
Garoppolo.
And I haven't really seen him doing it.
But
Garoppolo
it also might be
Kittle
Shanahan controls that.
But see, Garoppolo was and he could. I don't know. Like I feel like him and
All week. Well, let's not talk about Garoppolo.
I'm just saying. I feel like him
Because-
and Kittle were making football babies. Like
She's still mad that George Kittle has given her nothing in
He's
fantasy.
giving me-
She's bringing up stuff that just doesn't.
it does complete. You have one of the best tight ends, and you're not using him.
He is a great tight end, but he's better for his blocking, run blocking, and pass blocking. He's a great all-around tight end. He can receive, run, but people always say his
His man
block
blocks like a tackle.
Yeah, they say he blocks.
Like he blocks like a tackle.
So
You tell that to my
His
fantasy.
blocking is part of the
I lost
reason why
this
I
week.
don't feel like Travis Kelce runs away with best tight end, because Travis Kelce can't really block.
No,
he
but then
chips. That's it usually.
but he scores.
Yeah, but
He gets 7
Kittle can't.
over it. Yeah, if you use him for
But
that.
because Travis Kelce's all they have, so they have to have him run out and catch the ball. George Kittle can block and let
If
them throw
you
it to
would make
90
sense-
other people.
Then I can't. I'm not going to argue with you.
Okay.
I mean,
Unfortunately,
Logic
the
out of
worst
it.
part of the episode, we're going to talk about our Thursday night football game. Yay.
it was Thursday night. I can't remember.
Niners versus the
I
Giants.
knew that.
I got a shocker here for you guys.
You think the Giants are going to do it?
2017 Niners. It's gonna be a close game.
You think
You
it's...
think it's gonna be a close game?
You think
2017 Niners. I think the Niners are gonna eke it out. I think you guys are gonna be hungry. I think you guys' defense is gonna come out because they know they have to.
But we're still gonna lose, yeah.
but you gotta put some points. And you know what? Scratch that. Final score 34-28.
I don't think it's gonna be as bad
I
as the
don't think
Dallas
it's gonna be
game,
34,
but I think it's gonna hurt.
You should be surprised. I think you guys are gonna air it out with Jalen Hyatt.
Well, I think we have found something behind.
I think you're gonna air it out because I saw
some of them plays with him. It was literally just him going to Daniel Jones and being like, "Just throw the ball."
I mean,
He was jumping over people for it. He was out running. It looked like, like early Randy Moss and them when it was just like, just throw it as hard as you can, as far as you can, and he'll go get it. He was starting to do stuff like that. And if they take what they saw up the 3 or 4 times you got to see it against Arizona, I was about to say Cincinnati, and I was like, that's not who we played. And I was like, San Diego wasn't them either. Yeah, it was. I can't remember who it was. Arizona, Jesus. But it started to become almost like, oh, we can just do this. And then the defense, like Isaiah Simmons, that second half started like playing his ass off.
Oh, okay. I was going to say about Hodges because Hodges started coming up.
Hodges needs to get back in there quick too. I think that Daniel Jones might rush for 150 yards because I think he's going to need to, and I still don't think people get that he is.
I don't think they think of
he's as mobile as in
back.
Matt Breida.
Yeah.
And remember when Saquon went down, he was running at the end of the game and was running pretty effectively.
Really good, yeah.
And we have Eric Gray to fill in if he's not there, which Eric Gray's been basically doing a lot of our special teams, but he's kind of like a little bit bigger Deuce Vaughn. He's not quite as fast, but he's shifty and can kind of do those scat pass plays. So, I mean, I don't know if that's going to equal Saquon Barkley. I mean, he's Saquon Barkley, but I think it alleviates. I think sometimes when you have a star player like that and the defenses can go, we got to go at him, but you are going to use him. When they're not there, sometimes I think defense is like, oh, well, there's nobody to really watch. And then you can kind of sneak running plays because they're not really watching Matt Breida like they watch Saquon.
Yeah.
Or that offense isn't going to do much, and now Jalen Hyatt's getting over the top because they kind of sleep on it. I guess that's the best way to put it, yeah. And
sometimes when you go into a game with the idea of I already won, that doesn't always, trust me, I've witnessed that does not always go well. Like, San Francisco go win this, like, okay, so we got to stop by New York, and then we're going to keep, sometimes that can have those roots.
Huh? Are you guys home team tomorrow?
No, I think, no.
No, you are in San Francisco? Okay.
We stayed in Arizona.
Well, that'll make them even think even more than
since it's a short week.
Okay.
Just, hurt your feelings. Yeah. I think it's going to sting a little bit. I do. But any team can win at any time. I've said that. I believe that.
It's a short week.
I've witnessed that.
Short weeks, things happen.
I mean, short week, San Francisco could be tired from Sunday.
And yeah.
So, it could be.
So,
Yeah, I don't know.
But you just don't look very,
I'm not confident. This isn't going to be game 1 all over again.
Okay. Well, that wraps this up.
So what you hear?